the simple daily view of the calendar. So we're going to go ahead and create a new appointment. So click on the new button here. This will pop up this event details window. That's where you schedule your patient. Go ahead and click on the drop menu here, and you can start typing ahead the first couple of letters of your patient's last name, and it will drop you down to that patient. And then select your patient. Go ahead and select the provider here. We'll take a look in a minute how this is affecting your scheduling at this appointment. And then by default, it's today's date, but you can change that, of course. No need to have an end date in most situations here. And then we have a beginning time. So let's say 9 a.m. and it automatically assigns 9:30 as the end time for my appointment. So now why is that? Let's go look back at our little gear icon, and basically under the calendar settings here, we did set up this particular provider to have a 30-minute appointment length. And that's why we see this appointment ending at 9:30. Now the resource is what we see here on the right hand side, and the resource are not going to particularly matter for the daily view. The resource are going to be something that you'll want to have if you're going to be working with the schedule view of the calendar, which is a different view, and that may be where you'd like to actually work from, or it's likely you might work from both areas. On the schedule screen, as you will see when we get to that, you get to view these different resources. So resource can be rooms if you have multiple rooms in your office. It can also be providers if you have multiple providers. It's kind of up to you how you want to define these resources. So here we have them set up as rooms, but you might find a different way of doing that that works better for you. So back to our calendar screen here, I'm going to select a resource here just so that we can look at that when we get to the schedule view. And then this is our color coding that we went over in the previous video, and I'm going to select this here. Now the title you can use for both title and description. You can use or not a title and description. That's entirely up to you. This would be something that you want to be seen on the calendar. If you have different front desk person, you want to sort of pass on a message about that, whatever you want to have in here. I'm just going to type this in for that, and that's a description just so that you'll see where it's going to reflect. If your patients is set up with a copay in their file, you'll see that copay reflected here. All right, so you can see here where you would see that title if you had a title and where you would see the description. So this is what our daily view looks like. So you notice on the daily view, and this is the only view where we have this, the daily simple view, you have a little dollar sign here. And if you click on that dollar sign, it's going to create an invoice for that patient according to the billing preferences that you've set for them under their patient's file. So you don't have to go back to the main file. You can just be here and click on this here, and it will create an invoice for that patient for that date. That takes us back also to this function button here in the auto bill multiple. So you can also wait until the end of the day if you don't need to give your patients their receipts right away. You can wait until the end of the day and you can click on auto bill multiple appointments. It's going to ask you for a date range, and that can be just one day, or it can be several days, a week, or whatever you want. And it's going to go through the calendar for that time period, and it's going to take a look at who does not have an invoice yet for that date of service. Once I create an invoice, and we'll do that in a second, this is going to change color to let you know that this person has already been billed. So I'm going to go ahead and click this here. Okay. And I'm going to say super bill, and I'm going to say cancel about the printing. All right, so now we have our bill for that patient. And you can see that when I'm back on the calendar, it's switched this dollar sign to red. So that's pretty much it for the simple daily view I want to remind you this, we went over this in the previous video, but if you wanted to collapse the sidebar here, you would have to click on that little orange arrow pointing to the left, and that collapsed the sidebar. And if you want to bring it back, you're going to use the blue arrow here pointing to the right, and it will bring it back. See you in the next video.